In the world of Pokemon, the grind to be the very best that no one ever was is a grind that the world knows well. As we go through the various Pokemon titles, they've introduced us to all types of rivals. Small ones, tall ones, red ones, blue ones. Creating the path for these types of characters isn't that difficult, but it's more so about why and how they've come to be. We all know that they're going to lose to us all the time. We know that we're going to become the champion of the region, but it's about their character journey rather than how their character ends up. Barry is one that I want to look into since I believe that he had an enjoyable character journey, but he's often put down when everyone is talking about rivals. He's got one of the best examples that we have of a Pokemon trainer and what they should stand for. He's just missing a bit, and that's okay. He's got spirit to make up for it. There are a few traits seen in Barry that should be seen in all trainers if they plan to be a champion. These beliefs also transcend Pokemon because they are the right go-getter traits in general. For one, a drive to improve. Barry is many things, but he isn't dumb, and he's not lazy. When you have the drive to learn more, the world opens up a lot, and you obtain a strength that can only be achieved by being open to learning. From the beginning, Barry shows his interest in honing his Pokemon education, taking it back to when you received your first Pokemon in Gen 4. You can see the determination that this character exudes, and his drive to learn seems unlimited in this first moment alone. We can also refer to when we had caught him in trainer school picking up so much information. Barry is a character that looks for knowledge wherever he can find it. He also goes about trying to find a mentor who is already familiar with the idea of being a strong Pokemon trainer. That's why we see him with Crasher Wake. As for why Crasher Wake doesn't take him under his wing and why he's so adamant on having a mentor, that's a character trait that we'll be going over later. Another trait that's present in Barry that should be present in not only trainers but everyone of the Pokemon world is a love of Pokemon. Barry isn't one of those trainers that uses Pokemon as tools. We have an example when Rowan is asking him of his view on them, and he doesn't hold back his love by any means. Then there's when his love for Pokemon showed his empathy and pain for Uxie when he was unable to defend them from Team Galactic. It's okay that he wasn't able to defend from Team Galactic. He tried. Plus, defeating that many grunts with higher-ups mixed in, it's just not possible for the regular trainer. This event is a loss that's now held in his chest because the way he views it, it's not only that he wasn't strong enough for himself, he wasn't strong enough for others when they needed him. This feeling doesn't happen when you don't care, and Barry cares a lot. So you can imagine the weight he's carrying from this happening. And as a final example of this trait, there's when you meet him again in the Battle Frontier. You see how happy he is to find like-minded trainers that also love their Pokemon. It means a lot to him. Now there's one final trait that makes for the recipe of your perfect trainer, and that's the ability to bounce back. Determination is such a strong and driving force in not only the Pokemon world, but the world we live in also. Life is not easy, by any means. There's always going to be something that's putting you down. It's battle after battle, match after match. Barry goes about learning what he can do to beat you because you're the standard now. There are also times where he gives you credit because of how strong you are, though he doesn't let you forget that he's always going to be training to be the best that he can. I love that. That's the best competitive spirit I've seen from a trainer in Pokemon. Sooner or later, your rival usually goes about taking a different route from you. Barry? Barry does not give up. His grind is an endless one. That's a real rival. Now, while that's what makes him a real trainer, there's what makes him Barry. The first trait is his most notable, and that's his headstrong attitude. Barry is regularly in a rush. The game portrays him as someone that's always ahead, and that's not the entire story, but we'll get into that later. He's always getting ahead, always waiting for us to catch up, and always finding us unreasonable amounts of money. It would be one thing if it were inconveniencing only him, but it's troubling for everyone that knows him. Everyone worries about him, not because he's headstrong, but because his fast-paced approach to reality is like one of a child. And for that reason, people will worry about Barry more than you because they're not sure how well he can do when swimming with the sharks of the world. The second most noticeable thing about Barry has to be how much his relationship with his dad matters. With Palmer being the leader of the battle tower, he's busy. Very busy. But rather than think of his dad in a bad light, he takes the Gon approach, and he wants to be just like him. This approach towards being a trainer had actually stunted his growth. It wasn't until after the events at Spear Pillar and Team Galactic entirely that he wanted to go about it in a more real and down-to-earth approach. His original path on how to get better wasn't wrong. It's great to look for information where you can, but with the lack of a father, this caused Barry to look for mentors that can take up the role. That's why he was trying to be so close to Crasher Wake. And finally, the last thing I want to go about with Barry is how he gets left behind and how much that means to him. Let's think about Barry's perspective. The two people that are significant parts of his journey are both leaving him behind. His father had left him behind to work, and he couldn't follow him because he wasn't anything on his level yet. Then there's you, his best friend and rival. You are continually getting stronger and maturing throughout your journey. He looks to both of you. He wants to get to your level, but he didn't know what to change about himself to get there. It pained him. But the thing about Barry is that pain breeds change. He doesn't want to get left behind, so he turned it up. His father leaving is what made him want to be like him and just be a great trainer. But when you had passed him up to such a far degree, he knew he had to make a change in himself. Rather than try to be like you, he takes a good look at himself and knows that being other people isn't the move. Instead, he tries to be the best him there is. The story of Barry is one of the most enjoyable things in Generation 4. You see this development of a trainer from a kid to, well, a kid that knows better. The weight that a trainer carries in the Pokemon world is a tremendous burden to whoever has to bear it. And I think that Barry is an excellent example of it and a solid example of someone that carries it well. Oh my God. Woo! That was a lot. thank you all for watching. I'd like to have more Pokemon content like this, like just like character analysis type of stuff, or even just stuff that goes about like the very intricate things of the game, or even the anime. And I think that I'll try to go about that as well as I can. But it is hard juggling multiple channels and life. Added onto that, I do have a Twitch where you can see content on, I guess, Animal Crossing or even Pokemon potentially that I'm playing on. Because if you do like gameplay and stuff like that, you will see it on the Twitch. And there's also the third channel, Caleb by 8 Bites the Dust, where I'll be having all the highlight stuff or the VODs or something like that, just for you all to see the stuff that's going on. If you're a more gameplay-oriented person, or you want to see gameplay stuff after, like my thoughts on stuff in general, like because I'll go about everything that I'm thinking of in the game when streaming and all that. So yeah, there's something to see when I am playing that type of stuff. But I will be playing Animal Crossing like all the time. But yeah, if you do like Animal Crossing, be sure to check that out. So yeah, hopefully I'll see you all in the next one. Until then, peace out and Godspeed.